Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to game number 3. That's right, you are watching the BTS, or the Beyond the Summit Weekend Cup. It's a weekend full of tangos. We just announced that we are moving to LA. We're starting a Dota studio. We're going full-time with this esports shenanigans. We are running a Kickstarter over at Indiegogo to help fund that, our initial startup costs. So if you want to support us, if you want us to do more and better content, then consider contributing to that, or at least go check it out. But either way, thank you for being here. Watching the stream is certainly a lot of support in and of itself. Currently, it's game 3. This is a 4-team invitational single elimination tournament. We'll take a quick look at the brackets. The winner of this game moves on to face the winner of Virtus Pro versus Fnatic.eu. We're going to play that Virtus Pro versus Fnatic.eu match immediately after this. That will also be best out of 3. And then tomorrow will be the grand finals, best out of 5. Winner take all, $500 available. Decent money for a single elimination weekend cup. I'm LD. I'm joined here today by Blitz. And Blitz, how you doing?
Pretty good. Kind of tired. Other than that,
oh yeah,
really like watching Liquid play because, as you know, Fluff lives by here too, and we've hung out with him quite a bit. So
they kind of remind me of Zenith, just in terms of how many crazy heroes they pick up.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're just willing to take a lot of risks. Same with NTH for that matter. NTH doesn't really adhere to any metagame. They, I think they pride themselves on kind of doing what works best for them. I think Liquid does as well. So you see a lot of heroes that aren't traditionally picked, like the Clockwork or the Visage, or the Broodmother for that matter, who hasn't been seen in quite some time.
Or the OD. We did actually. It's funny I bring that up, Zenith up, because they ran that too. But yeah, Liquid, they're very creative with their hero picks. It makes them a little bit hard to play against because you can't really game plan your draft the way you can for some teams.
Yeah. So hopefully, though, I'm a little biased. I hope Liquid wins, but I have friends on NTH as well, so hopefully don't hate me too much for saying that. And the Wisp ban.
I don't hate
customary.
You. I don't hate you. But,
and the bat's actually surprisingly banned. I didn't expect to see that.
There's a Nyx in the pool, and no Tidehunter giving it away. They must have something in mind. Lifestealer is one of the ways to kind of deal with Nyx in the laning stage. He's not... Offensive tri-lanes are pretty good against Nyx. He's not really the best support until he gets some levels, but giving away a Nyx is... I want to say this rarely works, but you have to know what you're doing, so we got to assume no Tidehunter has a plan.
Yeah, or they just... I don't... The OD ban seemed a little quick.
It's like... I mean, they clearly want Liquid to pick it, or they're just banking on Liquid not doing it, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah, because I don't see... That's a really good point, because I don't see why else they would do that. Especially picking or banning out the OD. I think that made Fluff pause for a second.
Oh, Darkseer Mag. Nope, Darkseer Keeper of the Light. So they get a... Well, some pretty strong AoE to start the draft off. There's still a Mag in the pool. Mag Keeper of the Light Darkseer is like a GG team fight for no Tidehunter.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like a hero that Liquid favors as much, but they might pick it up just to deny NTH from getting it.
That's true. I mean, it's not something you expect to see out of Liquid. I just sort of mention it because, well, no Tidehunter likes it a fair bit, and it's almost like Liquid kind of have to, just to deny it. But what will they do if they don't pick it? It's hard to go aggressive tri-lane when you're up against Keeper of the Light. That much we know. It's also hard to kill a Darkseer in a tri-lane. You really need something like a Shadow Demon if you're running Nyx. Otherwise, you're just not killing that Darkseer. So let's see what they go for. They go for the clock again. The last time Bulba played this matchup, he got a kill, but I gotta say, you should not ever be able to kill the Darkseer 1v1, unless the Darkseer makes a horrible blunder, or you get ganked.
Yeah, I actually really like Clock, though, against the Keeper of the Light. You need a long-range Initiate hero to deal with Keeper of the Light, so something like, something that can just instantly go on him, right? And Clockwork is a very good option for that, and it gives him some lane versatility as well. And on top of that, he has a good way of dealing with Surge by just being able to cog somebody in.
Yeah, and I mean, they've got really good, like, look at the initiation range, because Nyx, well, it's essentially infinite since you don't know where he is most of the time, and Clockwork has really long initiate range, so if Liquid get a good early start, no Tidehunter could be preyed upon pretty much anywhere, and like you said, even Keeper isn't safe, and they are going to potentially go aggressive tri-lane here. They pick up Undying, it's a triple melee opening, and I think we may just be seeing a solo Nyx. Because if you're running a double melee tri-lane with Nyx Undying, that's a pretty weak tri-lane in most cases. Even with Undying, I still think it's a bit weak, so it could be a solo mid Nyx.
Yeah, I know a lot of Chinese teams run it quite a bit.
Yeah, they love to go for early Blink Dagger. That's something God Kill Them All from LGDN. I think was the first player I really saw do it. I'm sure it has been done elsewhere. I know Empire's run the solo mid Nyx. Since then, I'm not sure when they started, but it's very scary.
Very scary indeed. And Undying as well. They're just going for the mass team fight.
Did we actually see 6 picks and 0 carries?
Yep. That's actually a bit of a surprise, because there's so, like we talked about, there's so few premier carries, right?
Yeah.
So picking one up at least in the early 3 is not the worst thing to do in the world.
Well, I feel like NoTai just does not want to go Luna this game. Nyx is one of the best heroes to punish her before she ever can farm that BKB. And Undying's annoying to lane against. Clockwork's great at zoning her out and making that Eclipse fairly wasted with the cogs. It doesn't feel like a Luna game. I wonder what they would go for if they don't go for that. Maybe the Lone Druid? But they already have the Darkseer, so that's going to be what Bulldog plays. So, I mean, what are you thinking for Loda this game?
The Gyro still exists. Sven is still an option as well. Those are both relatively decent heroes against Nyx. Gyro just because he has the range and he can get protected, and although the flak does kind of screw him over, but he's going to get a BKB really quick, so it won't hurt him as bad. And Sven is quite tanky and can't really get picked off by himself.
Yes,
so that option exists as well.
He's also really good versus Undying because he can just muscle down the Tombstone almost instantly. He is a bit weak to the cogs. He's also tanky, so Nyx can't burst him. I think the Sven might be the pick here, but we'll see what they go for.
Yeah, they do have... Team Liquid does have a ban, so they opt not to ban the Sven, which they did the previous 2 games, so I think NTH might consider taking it here. Maybe it's a bait out pick.
I think the mag is kind of more important, though, because they already have Rubik, so you can't even... I mean, I don't know if Liquid would have gone for the Rubik, but they could be running Nyx mid, in which case they have room for another support. So that Rubik pick would really protect the mag pick by No Tide Hunter, so I think that's a smart ban. It's like the Mag-Sven combo is exponentially more scary than just Sven or just Mag.
Yeah, Mag's one of those heroes that if you mess up at all and he gets any sort of decent ultimate off, it's just the game.
Yeah. This is interesting because Liquid goes for the Gyro, so we could see... looks like a solo mid Nyx, a Clockwork... Could it be a Clockwork tri-lane? I mean, it's what the LGDN like to run. You need something to set him up so he can walk next to you and get the cogs off. But like, if the cogs are off and you're getting rockets being... homing missiles coming at you, the rocket barrage is flying out, that could be a very potent killing tri-lane. I don't know. I mean, Bulba's normally been playing it solo, but I wonder what it'll be as this last pick for Liquid.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know. Gyro can be run as a support. It's quite popular.
The one issue I have is if they tri-lane with... I mean, if they go aggressive, which you normally think people will with Undying, is they don't really have much, like... They don't have much chain stun to burst anyone down. Like, how are you going to kill except just chasing with decay spam?
There's that Luna. They were both wrong.
Wow.
They took the risk.
They went for it anyway. Liquid has shown a propensity to offensive tri-lane to be very aggressive. And we could see a Gyro as a solo. We could see maybe a Gyro safe lane, a Nyx. I don't know. Their lanes are going to be weird, man. Whenever you start triple melee, your lanes get weird. Things get a little bit strange.
The Luna actually here isn't the worst thing, though, because now that they have the Keeper of the Light, they can kind of protect and not give up every single tower. Because that's what happened last game, right? The Luna had no avenues to farm because they lost so much map control so quickly by losing all their T2s. But with a hero like Keeper of the Light, they can actually keep them up for quite some time.
I love this.
Or at least make it really difficult.
I love this Enchantress pick by Liquid because they now have the meat shield to dive the tower early with decay spam. That also gives you a bunch of crowd control between her own slow with enchant and the creeps, whatever CC they provide. So it's basically enough CC in one hero, one of the few that can pretty much by herself set up kills for lanes that don't have other stuns. I think this is a smart pick. So offensive tri-lane with Enchantress, solo mid Nyx, and then safe lane Clock is what I'm expecting to see from Liquid.
Yeah, that very well could happen, especially since Enchant can just pick up 2 creeps really quickly.
Yeah, they can dive, and Keeper of the Light is a bad hero against tower dives. He's great in just tri-lane versus tri-lane kind of wards of attrition, but he's not a bad hero, but he's not the best, because he can't really disengage. If he's sitting behind the tower, he can throw out an Illuminate, but if your carry ever gets caught, that Keeper of the Light can do nothing to protect you. So I think no Tidehunter may try to... I don't know what they would do. Do they try and dodge the tri-lane? I guess they just need really good vision and then hope that Fluff doesn't get the right creeps.
Remaining.
That's... Maybe he just gets a bunch
5
of
seconds remaining.
hurricane creeps. You never know.
So many ways to instantly win your lane. Lifestealer. Ooh, are we gonna see? I think they may run the Luna mid and just put the life. Yeah, Loda's playing the Lifestealer, so it looks. Oh, I can't imagine Bulldog's going off lane with the Luna. Is he really? Luna versus Clock. I think that we might see that. Blitz, what kind of Dota am I watching here? This is this is your BTS weekend cup. Just strange
That's the
things are happening.
mid. That's actually pretty neat.
It's S4
That's
playing
pretty.
it is.
Yeah, so it's okay mid against Nyx. I thought for some reason for a second that they would put Lifestealer mid because he doesn't really need mana, but.
Yeah, I guess the one issue is Lifestealer can't really control the game. He can win his lane and then just farm more. He's not the most mobile hero.
10
He's okay at
seconds
ganking,
remaining.
but I mean, so no Tidehunter. They're expecting the offensive tri lane.
5
They throw
seconds
S4 mid. He
remaining.
can outrun control a hero like Nyx because he can push a lot harder, obviously. And that's going to make it hard for Nyx to get the runes. It's going to make it hard for him to set up ganks. They're throwing S4's on the Luna now. They did a little swapperoo here.
Prepare.
Trying to play some mind
sneaky.
games. Mind games.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have never seen an offlane Luna, and I'd hope never to.
This makes sense though. Luna does decent. She's not like amazing against Nyx. She could get ganked, but it just an enchant could definitely kill her. But in the lane, she'll be okay versus a Nyx.
What a weird strategy! Is like try to sandbag them. Like, we'll let you think that we're gonna do offlane Luna, and then
Yeah, there's so much of that. We think you're gonna do this, so we're gonna do that. But we think you're gonna do that, so we're gonna do that instead. It's just one of those games. All right, on the side of no Tidehunter, we've got the lone non-European. It's Eternal Envy playing that Rubik. Boy, he pulled the crap out of somebody because he's only got Tangos. He bought looks like the Courier and the Observers,
30 seconds.
as well as pulled one set of Tangos towards S4, I believe, or Salve maybe. He's playing the Rubik. S4 is going to be on the Luna. We have Follow Ake on the Keeper of the Light, Lodeberg on the Lifestealer, and Admiral Bulldog on the Darkseer. Are they running the Darkseer in the enemy? What are they doing?
okay. See, we try to overthink this too much. Let's see what happens.
I guess he's going offlane now.
Yeah, this is because this is like the most confusing thing I've ever seen. First, we thought a Luna was gonna offlane for a second.
They switched the heroes.
Yeah, so we'll just kind of go.
Yeah, we just won't cast for the first 2 minutes, then we'll pick it up.
Yeah, well then we'll just see what happens. So introducing Liquid's lineup, we have Fluff playing the Enchantress, Korok playing the Nyx Assassin, TC playing the Gyrocopter, who's the carry, Bulba, Liquid Bulba playing the Clockwork, and IX Mike 88, the man with the famous mustache, playing That Undying.
So Fluff and Stuff starting in his own jungle, and he actually has placed a sentry ward here. Just in trying to scout out any enemy observers in his camp, I guess, because he did see they weren't in the enemy jungle, so he figures they went 5 mana to his. But well, he gets this early creep, and the question is, can he go and kill S4 at say level when he gets 2 creeps up? It's a pretty squishy hero, the Luna.
Yeah, S4 has to really be careful. Just because Fluff can kill him with 2 creeps pretty easily.
And the one thing S4 does have is a magic bush ward in the enemy jungle, so he probably will spot Fluff's movement. Fluff has now deployed a second sentry ward. I don't think he's caught any enemy observers with this. Yeah, he hasn't yet. So all his sentries have been entirely wasted.
Does pick up a smoke now, though.
He's got an army of skeletons. He does get the centaur. This is that moment where you have the net, impale, and centaur stomp. That is enough chain stun to kill anyone, pretty much. And S4's already at half health.
I wonder if you guys actually going to try to go for this. Yep, definitely should. He has 2 really good creeps here. Luna is vulnerable. They can dive as long as Korok saves enough stun, or mana for stun, and he's got level 2 stun as well here.
Yeah, normally when LGDM runs the solo mid Luna, they have the roaming jungler. Oh, the creeps are... Already dispelled under the tower. The Impale will spell Doom. This is going to be our first blood. If the chain stun is there, there's the... Oh, it died. He didn't get off the net, and now Fluff might give up the first blood. There's your Centaur stop.
Oh, be careful, Fluff.
First blood.
So the Dark Troll Warlord actually dies there. I don't think it got off the net, and that's unfortunate. But they do get the kill anyway. Good reaction by Fluff. And I guess the sentries make sense. He just wanted to make sure that, even though he didn't deward, he just wanted to make sure that first smoke gank was successful, and well, it was. Gets the first blood mid.
Yeah, that was almost really risky. S4 was actually churning and angling for the Lucent, but doesn't get it quite off. Fluff led with the troll there, so that was a bit of a mistake. But do you see Ake? He tried to snipe the courier.
Oh, he tried to pull a 1437. Just barely missed it.
And he just doesn't get it there. Ake is wasting his time a bit here. They're leaving... That
could have been huge.
Yeah, that would have been actually ridiculously bad if Korok hadn't gotten his bottle there. That would have eaten up the lane for S4.
And now we're just going to see a dual lane mid, potentially, with Ake here. It gets so much harder for the Enchantress to dive, especially in this middle lane. It's really hard to actually get the jump on somebody, so you're almost always going to be able to channel that Illuminate. No, he's going back top. So how are the other lanes doing? Luna getting free farm for the moment in this in mid, pretty much, even though the gank happened. Bulldog's farming will bottom, and Lifestar's farming will top, so, you know, is it really enough for Liquid?
Yeah, they have the top 3 CSers right now. Enchant really has to get mobile on the map, try to get something going. Bulba's just gonna have a difficult time just dealing with the Ion Shell spam.
Here's the... the lane adjustment they made is pretty clever, in my opinion, because you can't kill Lifestealer. Even with the Enchantress, it's virtually impossible. They just don't... They don't have a good killing tri-lane against a hero that is Rage. So Lifestealer's never gonna die. Darkseer's very hard to gank, and a safe lane Clockwork, the only way you're killing him is if you hook and cog him right when he uses Surge. Even then, he may be able to tank through it all. So, I don't know where Liquid actually finds the kills. I feel the way No Tidehunter has laned this is, even if Luna dies, she's still going to get levels because she's mid, and she's going to farm because she's Lunar Blessing, and then you're not going to get that many other kills elsewhere on the map. So, it's... Fluff's got to keep the pressure up, but it's so hard to find the openings.
Yeah, and that ward actually makes things really difficult. I think Fluff definitely knows that the ward is there, but there isn't really much he can do to it. He needs to get his boots. He has his Ring of Bassi now as well. So,
yeah, he just...
for the time being, he just kind of has to concede to farming, which isn't the worst thing in the world as well.
Yeah, it especially wouldn't be a bad thing if they were farming well in their other lanes. The one concern is, well, Clockwork's getting farmed, but it's a safe lane Clockwork. Getting him farmed is normally not going to turn a game. TC is not. TC's sitting at 11 and 5. And normally when you throw Gyro in the offlane, you tri-lane him, because then you can get kills. He can't really be greedy with farming. He can easily be killed off. Gyro does not have any good escape mechanisms, other than a slightly above average base move speed. And, oh, Bulldog wants this courier. Not going to get it. Is Bulba going to get us kill here? No, he's got it back.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Is this the famous Lodeberg gonna get a Hanamitis recipe, and then get the gloves on the side build?
Hey man, that's the way to go. That way when you die, you still got the gold.
We're gonna see.
Or you don't lose
he has
as much,
1,600 gold. Hasn't bought anything yet.
Oh, he's going Midas. Especially after the way the last 2 games went, he's definitely going frickin' Midas.
There it is. Called it. I can't believe he didn't get a Midas in either of the games, like the previous 2. We were so certain of it, right?
Well, game 2, there was just no way he was getting a Midas. He died 7 times and was 0 and 7. But yeah, game 1, I was a little surprised he didn't go for 1.
Yeah, but he does have one here. TC's gonna get a little bit aggressive on him. Isn't too afraid because he knows the supports have rotated. And IX Mike is actually doing a really good job of just stacking. But if you notice, Envy just blocked off the ward, or the camp with the ward there, and IX Mike knows it's kind of futile now, and he's gonna go back up top.
Friggin' Envy. He's so good about just. He's one of the best. He's probably the best support at just denying the enemies like additional jungle stacks and farm basically, because he's always thinking about it for himself.
Yeah, Envy's really selfless. Every game, giving up the regen, prioritizing stuff like wards as much as he possibly can. Just a really good support player. Reminds me a lot of Beat, able to do so much with so little.
Yeah, it's almost like a personal challenge. Let me see if I can go the entire game without buying a single item for myself and we can still win.
But it's a good style, because he sets Loda up so well for the mid game, and the vision on NTH is always so good.
Yeah, the only reason
That's really
Loda
what you need for team fights.
The only reason he can be greedy like this is because of him. And Fluff has rotated top. They know the Midas is out on Loda. They don't want to give away free farm to him. But with the multiple carries, if you don't have lane dominance in your 1v1 matchups, you can only shut down one or two of them. You can't shut them all down. And they definitely don't have lane dominance mid. Look at the farm on S4. He's the second highest net worth. They're going to try and deny the pull. Liquid is just falling further and further behind when it comes to farm. And they don't really have the late game either. In fact, they definitely don't.
Yeah, things are okay though for Liquid. They do have Nyx, they do have a Clockwork, so they have a lot of gankers, a lot of scary heroes out on the map, so they don't have to quite panic yet. It's if things continue in this vein that they should start getting worried.
Well,
if the farm just kind of progresses as is.
Here's the one real problem, is Bulba is the safe lane farmer against a Darkseer. So sure, he can go gank, but meanwhile bottom lane's being pushed. And it's why Darkseer's, and in fact, Bulba TP'd mid. Oh, they're going in on top. TC in onto Lodaberg, but Lodaberg has... Keep on calling him Lodaberg. He's got the rage up. He'll be fine. And Bulba's wasting a lot of time
Everyone knows who he's
mid.
referring to. Yeah, they definitely know he's there. They're 100% certain at this point. He's been gone for so long, he gave up the bottom tower as well, if you noticed.
Yeah.
Which is terrible, so the only thing he can be doing is ganking. S4 has to know that, so maybe he goes up in farms, but the risk just isn't worth it.
It's just not a matchup where Clockwork can gank.
Yeah. And they should definitely know that he's coming top now. He still hasn't come down bottom. When you leave an empty lane like that to farm, you have to know that he's up on the map doing something.
And they're diving. And there should be a TP up on everybody. Luna does not have one, though. There's not going to be an Eclipse here. The creeps are here. Lodaberg infests one, then pops out, and the dive is over.
Well, there goes both the creeps.
Maybe it's not. TC comes in, but they really can't engage without the creeps.
They almost have to fight this, though, or force it. That's why they were trying to, because Bulba's wasted so much time. That's been 2 minutes straight without anything happening, and Bulldog got a free tower there, and he's gotten 2 minutes of free farm.
See, I don't really know what else Bulba could do, though, because if you just sit bottom, you're giving away farm to their carries. So maybe you just sit bottom and let the Nyx go ganky, but it's such a waste of a hero like Clockwork. Anyway, he's going to try to go in. He's looking for that hook, but where's the follow-up? The follow-up is coming. He's going to land the hook. He's got the... No, he doesn't have mana for the cogs. Oh, there you go. Yeah, he just gets the cogs off, and Korak comes in with the Impale. Admiral Bulldog in trouble. Can he get away? That surge is still going. There should be enough with the haste turn. Can he juke like a boss? He cannot. Oh, he cannot. He tries. He can't. But meanwhile, S4 pushing mid, and both of the gankers, he's just to kill off the Darkseer of all heroes. Not ganking S4, not killing off the Nyx, and now they're going in on TC. The lone carrier gets lifted back in to the middle of a lot of damage and will die while the rockets go off futilely around him. IX Mike's manning up. He's trying to kill off Envy, but he's diving a long way. And Lodaberg can turn around and start to mess him up. He does get the kill with that final decay. Nyx is here. Korak with a good movement around the map. He doesn't have mana for Vendetta. There's a phase boot, so Loda can run. And they can't chase him anymore. And we're going to see immediately Darkseer TP back to the bottom lane. Bulldog, Mech is coming soon, and then these tower dives get almost impossible.
Yeah. A lot of the burst is going to get negated by Bulldog's mech. And so Liquid's on a bit of a timer for their ganks to just kind of go off left and right. Because the farm advantage is just kind of swung terribly, terribly, terribly out of control. NTH has kind of had complete map control and advantage in general. They need about 2 heroes just to gank the Luna or the Darkseer. And obviously, ideally, they'd like to kill the Luna. But if either of them are farming at the same time, I think it's a decent trade for NTH. So if Luna's getting farmed but Darkseer's getting ganked, then that's okay. And vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, it's just having 3 heroes that can all push well, and there are 2 of them are incredibly difficult to kill. We're going to have a Darkseer bomb, Admiral Bulldog charging in. Fluff and Stuff is only level 5. She'll be able to get away. This is a big bait, though. Let's see if they fall for it. He surges in. He runs into the creeps. Here's TC. Now comes the Lifestealer. If he rages, though, that means Admiral Bulldog tanks everything from the Rocket Barrage. And Lodaberg, trapped inside the cogs. Liquid was baiting this as well, it looks like. Can he turn this around? He already wasted Infest. He's going to drop here momentarily. I believe they don't have the hook anymore, but decay spam should be enough to bring him down. He gets slowed by Enchantress. I think they're going to get Loda. Loda's still running. The net is there, even while Rage. Down he goes. Meanwhile, Korok has just been sitting top. Does he have anything else on the way? No. But they get the baiters got outbaited.
Radiant's middle tower.
That was a weird way to put that.
Yeah.
Questionable word choice, but in general, it was but at the same time, S4 does get a lot of farm. You know, Loda does have the Midas, so he can catch up a lot quicker. TC absolutely needed that, but he did die. Only has 1,300 gold. So
Radiant's
for
top
him
tower is under
to
attack.
catch up here, it's going to be a bit difficult, especially with the ward blocked off. It finally gets unwarded, so I think Korok will go stack that. I think they're going to bait for it.
Korok! Oh no, he runs right into an Eclipse. He doesn't even get the spike. Carapace up. What a nice trap by Envy. Fully prepared. Just baited it and right into it he walks.
Yeah, they even dropped the sentry down in case Nyx decided to try to invis out of that.
That was such a nice play. And it was also nighttime, which makes that a lot more effective. And now it's daytime. Probably wouldn't have worked if it had happened like 30 seconds later. Well, it might have, but it would have been less likely to.
So the mech's going to come back out on Admiral Bulldog, though, in about 100 gold. And I think from there, team fights just become really, really difficult with Eclipse mech. You know, you have the Rubik as well. If he just stands back and counter-initiate, steal a decent spell.
Yeah, if he
And Loda's actually really difficult to kill at this point.
Yeah, Loda's very difficult to kill. Darkseer's very difficult to kill. Keeper of the Light's going to be far back. Even though Luna's fairly tanky, they did smoke. They're going to hook in on Loda. They catch him out, but can they actually bring him down? He can infest over the side of the cogs if he needs to, but he doesn't. He actually gets pushed back away from them. Nice two-man impale by Korok that changed him from Flub, but the Illuminate, whenever you tower dive the Keeper, it's very dangerous. Bulldog doesn't actually have the mech yet, but he's got the money for it. Surge in on Loda. Korok's going to... Oh, he should fall. No, the cogs by Bulba keeping him alive. Loda has rage. Not using it yet. He needs to rage and dodge this missile. It's coming in. Loda just runs into it in the nick of time. Now TC giving chase. There's another Illuminate. The Rocket Barrage cleans up the kill. Vacuum on 3 though. This could be a lot of trouble. They're all alive. Another 2-hero impale. How many does Korok have up his sleeve? He just keeps on having them. If they had the mech, that fight would have been totally different. It's not done yet. Bulba may fall. He trades his life. So in the end, it's 4 heroes dead. And that looked like really a perfect fight from no Tidehunter for most of it, but then the multiple hero impales by Korok win them the engagement.
Yeah, that was just a bit of an awkward engagement where Luna TP'd in a little too far, and they did a really good job of just bursting her out of the fight immediately, because she doesn't have the BKB and she's not tanky enough to do that quite yet.
Also, she didn't have Eclipse. It could have been a different fight if she did. And she didn't get caught anyway.
Yeah, I think that was just... If she had played behind the Lifestealer, that would have gone a lot better. But S4 just being a little too confident, thinking that all the stuns were on CD.
Yeah, and I'm a little... It's just unfortunate they didn't have the mech. If they had the mech, or if Luna didn't get caught, that would have been no Tidehunter easily getting 3 or 4 kills.
Yeah. 2 heroes... The last 2 heroes on Liquid barely had anything left.
And you can't run from a Luna with Tranquil Boot's drum. You just can't get away from her. So if you're running, you're all pretty much getting picked off. Well, when it's all said and done, still no Tidehunter. Getting the farm advantage, getting the experience advantage. They've held on to all their tier 1s. And they have definitely the better late game. I mean, as nice as a carry enchant could be, Fluff's not going for that. They're not seeing the Blink Dagger out yet on Korok. I feel really the struggle this game has been just how hard Korok lost mid, and the Luna matchup. Luna's very hard to lane against for almost any melee hero because she just does so much damage, and if you go in to try and get the creeps, you get nuked, you get auto-attacked from up the hill, and because Korok didn't get that farm, he doesn't have the early blink, and he just hasn't been able to find as many openings.
Oh, big fight incoming.
Yeah, that's a 2-hero impale again by Korok. They're gonna get the instant kill with the Monover. S4 will drop. Roche is at half HP. Liquid just finds a massive team fight. The wall drop, and it's actually a perfect vacuum ult, but there's no follow-up. Another Illuminate. IX Bike is down for the count, but they're gonna farm zombies for a little bit. And you do get quite a bit of experience off of this. Oh, hello, zombies. This reminds me of some of those scenes of Walking Dead, where they're just like waiting for zombies around the corner with machine guns or something silly like that. Loda.
They're guns that don't run out of bullets.
He should really Midas one of these. He's not. Oh, waste. Where's the Midas counter when we need it, Lodaberg? He needs a little bit of training, I must say. Now he's going to be able to rage and dodge this. Nope. Okay, he's not. This could cost him. He gets impaled. Oh, they don't have any more follow-up. He'll be okay. So Roche, not... Even though they won that big fight, they still can't actually jack the Roche. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Loda's gonna get salved up, and I think they're just gonna walk back in here.
Oh my goodness. Are you serious? Are they really gonna do this? And Korok doesn't have Vendetta, and there's a sentry down the lane anyway. And they're dewarding. Uh-oh.
How many misses can you get, Ake? Oh!
Big plays by Ake. Blinding lights IX Mike up onto the hill. He's trapped there. I don't think they have any way to actually kill off trees. They don't. He's just stuck. watching helplessly while there's a 2-hero Cog. They're going in without their Undying. What an incredible Cog, and then he eats his way out on the safe side. S4 charges in, will drop the Eclipse, but it just doesn't do anything. The entire enemy team fought, and IX Mike drops the high ground, the low ground. Zombies, the Tombstone. Again, no Tidehunter losing the engage, but still, they can't go in on Roche because Keeper the Light's alive.
Hey, you have one Tango Fluff. That was not it.
I think he has to eat true trees either way, even if he eats this
He definitely
one.
does. He
Yeah.
definitely does. But I mean, there was no harm in doing it because he just had a random Tango.
Give
But
him a TP.
S4 for all of his farm, you know, he did die. He has died 4 times, so that really negates a lot of it. You know, since the early game where the farm came in heavy for him, it's really slowed down for him, and he can't really initiate fights like that. As soon as he pops the Eclipse, the Tombstone zombies, they just kind of swarm on him. He only has 1 level, I feel, of Glaives. Yeah, he definitely only has 1 level of it, so he can't clear it at all. And Korok just puts out so much damage. He actually just drops him.
And he's getting close. I mean, at this point, I still think the Blink Dagger is going to be really effective, but we'll see what they go for. They do have Clockwork, so you don't need it on Nyx. The other thing is that Lifestealer's not really getting the good initiation, so then when the Luna comes in, oh, another 2-hero hook, and he's going to catch both of the supports. There's no force. Again with the blinding light, come on already, Ake. He's playing way too well, and there's now a mech, but the Impale will kill off Envy anyway. Korok charges in, Monabird's Bulldog, Bobo doing work right now with that battery assault. Roar, everybody backing into the wall, into the nuke from the Keeper. If they had any sort of follow-up, that would be absolute disaster. Meanwhile, it looks like Luna, didn't Eclipse, just kills off the Gyro solo. So they do lose their carry, who has a Shadow Blade, in fact.
Yeah, and the bad news, though, for NTH is that they actually haven't farmed at all, and they've been losing every single fight pretty badly, too. Like, the top fight could have gone either way, but it didn't swing in their favor, and since then, everything has just kind of spiraled out of control. That really gave Korok the levels he needed to be out on the map, being a terror. Bulba has just been so clutch. He's been hitting 2-man hook shots on everybody, minimizing the damage that everyone on his team can take, doing really clutch cogs, and then in conjunction with the call down from Gyrocopter, where it kind of forces NTH to fight around it. They're just having a really difficult time dealing with the Bulba, who's kind of cutting off all the space, which is most difficult.
Yeah, what Liquid has in spades right now is burst damage. Between the Gyrocopter with the Shadow Blade, a Nyx Assassin, and a Clockwork, the supports of no Tidehunter, if they get caught, they die. Whereas Liquid's heroes don't really die, because they've got heroes like Undying who are just naturally tanky, can heal each other up. Your Clockwork's pretty survivable, even with an Ogre Club. Enchantress has the heal and is going puppy style, with the point booster going very tanky, sort of like a semi-carry enchant. And Korok's going for his classic Orchid. I mean, there's just not as many easy kills on Liquid, and no Tidehunter. One thing they lack is that big lockdown spell for a BKB carry, and TC's going for one. They may have a lot of trouble dealing with them, even if the carries like Lifestealer are fine and Luna's okay. It's the supports who are just gonna melt to this Gyro.
Yeah, I think NTH knew that they had the farm advantage, so they're willing to take fights like that. But if you notice twice, if you can see my drawing around there,
Where?
Bulba, the stairs.
Oh,
Bulba was
yeah.
actually able to get the cogs off twice.
On the
Like,
stairs.
right at those stairs.
Yeah,
Like,
both
consecutively, and that just kind of completely won the fight for them.
The first fight was my favorite, because then he actually killed off the access, he got out of the cogs running to the left, and they could have killed him off on the right side. So they were just trapped, and Bulba also was able to escape. Now they're pressuring towers, they're going for the tier 1 bottom, and even with Keeper, it's very hard to stop this push. Because they have earn charges, they have, well, mech coming soon on Bulba. And meanwhile,
Yes.
Loda just trying to farm.
Oh, the hook just misses. He actually hooked into like 3 heroes and got in between all of them. Just a bit of unluckiness.
Bulba's just all or nothing. He's either catching the entire enemy team with perfect hooks, or he's just shooting his teammates with it. It does happen. I mean, the thing with Clockwork is he's like Pudge. You just gotta go for it. Sometimes you miss and you look a little bit silly. But it's okay. If you hit enough hooks, it's all about those hooks. It doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily matter the ones that you miss.
Yeah. That's Wayne Gretzky, right? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I slurred that a bit, I'm tired.
Yeah, you said that a little bit more suavely than I did.
Yeah, I'm running on like 40 minutes of sleep thanks to your and God's announcement, and I'm sick.
The things
Bulba's
we,
on the right though?
the things we do for esports. Yeah, he's lurking in the trees. He's got the hook in 1 second. He could go catch S4, and S4 doesn't have BKB. Oh, where's that hook? Where's that hook? Bulba doesn't go for it. In fact, Fluff charges in. Fluff is saying, Bulba, go! Bulba, go! And he just didn't like the angle.
Yeah, and also that's a bit of a crazy dive, because they are going into Eclipse with no creeps around if they do something like that.
And they don't have him pipe. So actually a smart call by Bulba not going in there.
Yeah, they do have to be a little bit worried. They need some sort of creep wave or anything like that. I think Bulba's waiting for somebody to come slightly further ahead.
Yeah, also that little area is where Vacuum could just ruin you. Vacuum Wall, Eclipse, Illuminate. If you get caught around that region, you could just instantly get 5-man wiped.
Yeah. The big thing here is just the positioning. That's really what's going to determine the next fight. The farm advantage is in NTH's favor by just a tad still, in terms of CS, but Liquid does have the kill and tower advantage, so things like this are going to be determined by whoever gets the better spells off.
And Korok's going to have his Orchid soon, which is, you know, something that we've talked about here on the stream in the past, is Orchid is just so good against Lifestealer, because he can't get if he can't get off rage, he just loses. I mean, he's a useless hero, basically. And the Orchid can prevent him from doing that. It's not like a BKB where you can use it even while you're silenced. It is a spell. So it can be great against him. It's not going to help us much against Luna once she has the BKB, but even a hero like Darkseer, this Orchid can really allow them to be more aggressive, get the kills, and then push. So it's another game where I feel Orchid is a great choice. Although I wouldn't have minded to see a Blink Dagger either a little bit earlier.
You really want to see that blink, don't you?
It's when you have Clock and a Blink Nyx, it's nowhere safe. Dota, I mean, especially for No Tide, but I guess they're a little bit lacking on killing power with a Blink Dagger. Against a hero like Lifestealer, he may be able to live if they don't fully chain stun him. So I guess it kind of makes sense. Korok just loves Orchid. It's definitely his favorite item.
It's signature item, man. It's really good though if you think about it. If he invises in he can stop the Nyx from, or not the Nyx, the Lifestealer from raging. Or if he can even silence the Darkseer and just minimize his effectiveness in the fight, it was like a worthwhile item to get.
Yeah, too bad he didn't go for his Midas. Midas Nyx assassin, that would be a sight to see.
And TC actually picks up his BKB too, so they're looking to engage really hard right now.
And we just have to keep an eye on Envy and Ake. These two, I mean, they're normally heroes that can sit really far back, but Clockwork just ruins that. And if they get caught at all, the Gyro is just killing them instantly.
Yeah, he's actually getting stunned and nuked down quite a bit by Korok's spiked Carapace.
It's what Puppy wanted to do at the internet.
Oh, here's the engage.
Oh, here we go on TC. There is going to be a ward here, but TC mans up with the BKB. He doesn't actually really catch the supports, though. The Eclipse flies out, doing good damage, catching only really heroes, but now everybody on the back foot. Admiral Bulldog in trouble. A nice hook and catches off Lodaberg. Loda will fall. Does he have buyback? He does. He doesn't want to use it, but they're going to lose their tier 2 mid. This is a crucial engage. They already used everything, really, on No Tide, so they just got to back. They cannot fight this anymore. I'm surprised to see them even staying on the high ground. They're going to try anyway, but they don't have Eclipse, they don't have Vacuum, or they don't have Wall, rather. Bulba gets put in. Maybe they can fight with the buyback from Loda. Oh, those cogs, they turn against him. Sometimes they're with you, sometimes they're against you, and everybody's melting. Oh boy, those cogs catching 2 allies under the enemy tower. Disastrous. And now they may turn it around anyway. Loda just fought back. If they can kill him again, that would be huge, but he's able, I think, with the arm. No, TC. Off with his head, he says. So they do kill they do in the end kill the Lifestealer twice, and they didn't lose their carry. TC's still alive, and they get the tower. So Liquid in the end, a good fight from them, despite the cogs. Those were death cogs.
Yeah, he created a battle dome.
That was a man. Yeah, that was
a terrible, terrible man fight center he created. Ike's Mike was completely screwed. He probably just threw his hands up in the air and he was like, "Well, I'm dead, guys."
He probably just twirled the corners of his mustache a little bit. That's what
Ike's Mike eats all of his food with his hands, apparently, like including soup. So that man fight was not something I don't expect from that guy.
Can you go into more detail about how you eat soup with just your hands?
I don't know, dude. I heard a story, since we have a break right now, like when Complexity, they decided to like treat them to like a really nice steak dinner.
Yeah.
And IX Mike, like they go to a really nice steakhouse, and IX Mike asked for like A1 sauce, and they all just like look at him funny. I don't know, that's the story, and they thought that was like the craziest thing in the world, and the waiter explained to them that happens like once every like 4 months.
That's the story, huh? I'm a little let down, I gotta say.
Dude, I don't know. That like sums up IX Mike though in like a heartbeat. Lives by his own standards.
He's a very...
Dire's
He's one of
top
those,
tower
like...
is under attack.
They broke the mold with him, kind of. Up top lane, Korok's gonna get caught out under a sentry ward and just picked off. He went hunting on his own, and No Tide were totally ready.
You can't really do that. Eternal Envy is going to be always prepared with those sentries.
He was just there, too, like, right as the Nyx is going in. Eternal Envy is eternally prepared. But yeah.
And he's got mana boots and wards. And he actually has 2k gold saved up. No idea what he's going to buy. Maybe a Force Staff. That'd be really useful against a lineup like this.
He's
Just trying to get out of the Undying Tombstone.
He's already failed the Eternal Envy challenge because he has upgraded boots.
He has money!
He's out of. He can't buy enough observers to spend all this gold. I would actually really like to see a gem from No Tide Hunter. You're up against a frickin' Nyx. But they do have Sentry in the top lane. They just need to get... If you're not going to go gem, then you just have to put sentries everywhere your carries are farming. And I feel that's just too much of an investment at this point in the game, but let's see what he goes for. He may go for some... Oh, he's got the blink, so there you go. I'm not what is there really to steal this game? Because if you get caught, this blink won't help you, and they have lots of ways to catch heroes. There's no RP. There is a Nyx Impale. Call down, I guess, is nice, but there's not that one amazing stealth where you just need the blink to go in. So I feel like Force Staff would be a better choice. You can force your allies out of cogs. Not really sure about this blink.
Blink, though, does allow you to get in position a little quicker, and it was the cheaper option at the time. I kind of agree, though, that I think the Force Staff would have been more necessary, especially if Bulba jumps on somebody or anything like that, or if you just want to, if Nyx initiates on somebody, if he's facing the right way, you can just kind of run away, but...
So TC up to a Demon Edge, he's going to get... I wonder what he's going for. Most likely that MKB. You normally start with the Demon Edge if you want it, and... Well, he's gonna be scary once he gets that. Lifestealer is, because they have Clockwork, it's actually, it can be very hard for this Lifestealer to ever have an impact in the fights, and TC can just plink away at him while he's trapped in the cogs, so, I mean, this could be disaster. If they get off a good cogs, there's just nothing the Lifestealer can go, and kind of the same for Luna, too. Oh, and they're going in mid. Envy's always prepared, but is he prepared this time? It's too late. Aki's in trouble. Aki doesn't... He went for drums, not Force Staff. I think he would have died there anyway, but...
No, he was completely dead. There's no way that he was going to get out. I think Korok would have actually chased that down with his ult, if need be.
I think he could have Force Staff to the high ground, but yeah, even so, he was going to die eventually one way or another.
Yeah, and nobody was really in position to help him out either. Loda's on the other side of the map.
That's just... When Liquid is winning games, their smoke ganks are always hitting the mark, and when they're not, I feel like, you know, the smoke ganks just aren't quite there. But this game, I mean, they're doing a great job. This is a lineup that just had to keep the pressure up constantly at a certain point. And we were worried about them for a while because they gave it that early tier 1 pull, but just wasn't having a good start. But they've really battled their way back into this game. Not many teams can give up so much free farm to so many core heroes and then still turn it around. You gotta admit, No Tide Hunter's made a lot of mistakes as well. They're going in to fight this Roche. They do a vacuum wall. This is not a good place to fight against vacuum wall. They're gonna initiate on the fight. They go on Ike's Mike first. There's the Eclipse. There's a silence on Loda. Vacuum into the wall. This could be trouble. Aegis picked up by the gyrocopter. The Eclipse is still going off. And now Envy's gonna drop. There's a hook onto Lodaberg. He's trapped inside of the cogs. Now, Bulba actually trying to run away. Loda infests inside of Ake. Take me away, Gandalf. But Gandalf may just turn around and man mode. This Gandalf's going to pay. Loda's not popping out. He doesn't want to die. He may die as well. Oh, boy. What a fight for Liquid. They fought in the Roche pit with a great vacuum wall, and they still take it. TC didn't even use up the Aegis, and they're not done yet. They want that last kill. They can't pick up the Darkseer. It's a team wipe for Liquid. Wow. Not often can you fight at the Roche pit against a vacuum wall, Illuminate, and Eclipse, and still come out on top like that.
Yeah. Bulba doing a good job once again of zoning Loda out of the fight, and then he just chased him down. I like your persistence though in calling Keeper like Gandalf throughout the entire fight. I thought you'd break character eventually, but kudos to you.
I mean, once you start, you gotta keep with it.
Exactly. He's Lodaberg now, he's not Loda. Consistency, that's the trait of a good caster.
Well, I'm definitely not consistent at all. But
there's that blink
in this one matter,
too.
Here we go. Oh, Envy's dead. Illuminate, or not Illuminate, Impetus. Yesterday I was calling, oh, now I'm forgetting again. What is the name of the nuke on Visage? It's,
Soul Assumption?
yes, I kept on calling Soul Assumption Phantom Lance because I just couldn't remember. I was solo casting, and it kind of looks like it. Oh, here we go. It wasn't even a peel in the game. That was the silly part.
Everyone knows what you're talking about.
No, but I copped some serious flames for that, which is fair enough, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah, and now the farm advantage is just gonna spiral down, and Gyro's huge. He does have his MKB now. He's 900 gold on top of that, 1k actually, in fact. There's a little bit of a stack for him to farm. Nyx is huge. I thought this game was gonna be okay still, because Korok hadn't gone ganking yet. They did have a bit of difficulty, but that top fight by the T1 just kind of swung things around. There were so many things that could have gone better for NTH. They overestimated their advantage. And from there, it just went downhill. Against a heavy pressure ganking lineup like this, losing fights like that is just a death sentence.
Yeah, if they had won that fight, it may be no NTH still... Because I think like it was 10 minutes ago I mentioned they still had all their tier 1s, or maybe it was 15. But they had all their outer towers for a really long time. They had 3 cores all farming against really only 1 core that scales well in the Gyro. And it was just that big fight. Luna got caught. But then the subsequent engagements at Roche, I feel, really cost them as well. The cogs are just so powerful in those congested areas with the small choke points. Bulba did a nice job. And No Tidehunter also just got caught a few too many times. So if they played it better, it really could have been their game with the way it started. They couldn't.
Oh, Envy.
Orchid. Oh, even back. Wait, how did they? Oh, that's a Darkseer from the backside. I was like, Envy cannot steal vacuum. But actually, he's going to live because of that vacuum Bulldog with the big bailout. Usually it's the supports doing the bailing. But Envy gets a nice little save there. The problem, though, is Liquid's breaching high ground with Aegis. 2,700 gold on TC. Look at his net worth. He's almost equal to the 2 enemy carries, and Gyro at this point becomes a real problem to deal with. Carapace also ruining Ake. And they're just sieging away on this tower.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Try to defend it, you're going to get chipped away at by that flat cannon. The split push is coming from Loda, but Loda's so poor. He went for the early Midas. He really should be fat because he was way ahead of TC earlier. It's all come down to the kills and the fight. So now he's actually behind in farm too. Tower's under siege. Korok, just such a pain against that Illuminate. This Keeper's not having a fun game. You know, it's funny because this is exactly what Puppy wanted to do at the International, but now it actually works because your Spike Carapace procs 1 damage source from every target, not just the first from 1.
Yeah. In theory, though, he was trying to set a new metagame. It was pretty neat.
He was a man ahead of his times.
He really was. TC is so fat.
It's almost like Ice Frog buffed it just because of what happened. Yeah, TC is freaking fat. He's up to 3k gold on top of his items.
Clears the wave. They're gonna breach now. If 2 racks go down, that's pretty much the game.
Yeah,
they have no avenues of farming. S4 desperately trying to get that Manta.
Here comes the Mambo. That Orchid just ruins him. The Lifestealer can't do a thing, and now the Eclipse flies out, but there's creeps here to tank it. There is going to be a hook catching out Bulldog, so he can't really get off the wall. Actually, no, he doesn't get off the wall. Triple kill. TC's got an Ultra, and he had nothing at the start of this game. Liquid strike back in Game 3. They take the series. NTH, I really thought they had the better draft in this game, and the lanes were really catching Liquid off guard, but it was just a couple of those crucial engagements where Liquid dramatically outplayed them.
Yeah, Liquid with really nice style of play, nice heavy aggression this game. Happens to work. Well played. NTH also played a very solid, safe game, but in the end, that one just teamfight after teamfight went so poorly. You know, you want to blame it on that teamfight at top, but the subsequent ones where they had a decent advantage still, going into those Rosh fights.
There was also a point where the Lifestealer bought back, died again. I mean, that usually loses you a game as a carry if that ever happens. It's very rare to recover from that. So Liquid, who have been kind of up and down, they've had some nice wins, they've also had some really questionable losses, but they pulled this one out, and now they just have to await the winner of Fnatic versus VP. That'll be our next best out of 3 as the Fountain Camping flies forth. So Team Liquid picks up a nice win, and they're only 1 best out of 5 away from 500 bucks in the pockets, 100 for each player, I assume. Unless Hayoka's taking a cut. Shout out to Hayoko, of course. Guys, thank you all for watching. This is only the start of today. It's our first match of the BTS Weekend Cup. I keep on wanting to call it the BTS Staff Cup. It is complete now. Liquid take it. TC finishes 10-3-11. But really, it was the two solos for me who were the most impressive. Korok and Bulba, after kind of a slow start, really picked up the pace. They take the series. They will move on to face the winner, Fnatic versus Virtus.pro. That match is coming up next. It should be starting soon. I'm LD, and he is Blitz. Blitz, thank you for joining me. I hope you're not too sick.
No, I'm pretty sick, but I only got like half an hour of sleep.
Get well soon. We're going to replace you because you're not a David anyway, so you're kind of a fake BTS caster. Another David will be joining me. I'll let you guys guess who it is. We're coming back soon with Fnatic versus Virtus.pro. You're watching a weekend full of tangos, and if you haven't already heard, we're moving to LA. We're starting an esports studio there, and if you want to help us on our journey, we're running a Kickstarter over on Indiegogo.com. You can check out all the details. Our social media has linked it up everywhere. Thank you for the amazing support already, guys. We're so grateful. We never expected anything like this. We thought, hell, we'll give it a shot. We hope people want to contribute, but just so great to see the support you guys are showing towards to us and towards all the teams that we're able to cover. So, more great stuff coming soon from Beyond the Summit. Stay tuned for that. Virtus.pro versus Fnatic.eu coming up next.
Draskell sucks.
Love you, Draskell.